Alright guys, welcome back to another paid rerune for RTA. This time we are runing for Cephalin. If you are interested in this sort of service, contact me on Discord. It's $75 for between 10 and 15 monsters, and then I'll test them out. Disclaimer, I can only rune the best I can, but I will do my best. Usually takes a few days for me to go through it and kind of think through what I want to do with your account. So yeah, if you're interested in that, give me a shout. There's a bit of a wait though, so just FYI. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the glory tower situation, just like we always do. Max. Hey, fully maxed glory. That's what we like to see. So that means this account is operating at 100% for glory, which is pretty great. Probably want to clear that dimensional predator if you haven't already. I don't know. Maybe not. Ooh, okay, so here's a tip. Dimensional energy sitting at 100 of 100. These are the best runes in the game. Highly recommend you farm them. Whatever you decide, if you want to do Alunia or the Swift Dungeon. Either or, but farm them up. They're amazing. Alright, so let's see. This season so far, 55.4%. Looking good. I logged in a couple days ago to test some things. So I got kind of a sense of what I wanted to do. I re-runed a couple of the monsters and tested them out, but I hadn't re-runed the whole account. So let's look at what I did and why. So I runed up Chiwu at 304. This account has every monster you could ever want for pretty much every playstyle. It can play turn 2, except Ragdoll. Like, it doesn't have Ragdoll for turn 2, but it can play turn 2 with Molong Harmonia. It can play kind of mid-range with Velajewel. It can do a lot of stuff. I mean, look at all the monsters here. It has nothing but massive amounts of options, which sometimes can be a little crazy because you got to choose one, right? So what I decided was to do the Chiwu Ryu, Water Ryu, double speed lead, double strip, double pushback, which is really strong right now. And if your opponent doesn't pick perfectly, or sometimes if they don't get good RNG, they are in a really tight spot to win. It's possible, but I feel like this comp, of all the comps I face, has the highest chance to win in the draft and then win in turn 1. So that's why I built that for him. I think it's a really good comp. So that's what we're going to do. So we already runed up the Chiwu. 304. Had to use this rune, which is super sad. So as soon as he gets another rune that can replace that, you would want to. The artifacts, I remember being a bit of an issue. So like, 13% actually not bad, but you could get like an 18 and be like really good. You want that accuracy on this guy. And then eventually, if you could build him damage like a lot of Chiwus are, that would be amazing. But we're trying to focus on speed first. We're trying to take turn 1. Ryu, let me check my little list here, is sitting at 299. Not ideal. You'd like him to be a little faster. You'd like to see some, accuracy there. This one also not ideal. So yeah, artifacts are an issue of concern. But then like there's a lot of room to grow. Like that rune probably can grow. These are great offsets. That one's okay. You can do better than 26 if you farm like crazy. But yeah, that rune will upgrade this guy really nicely. So that's what we're going to be looking for in the future. So just as a thought, I think we're going to be farming giants and artifacts on this account. I think that's the plan. All right, the next monster we ruined is Shan. I initially had this set on Yanhong, because you can see Yanhong there, but I think it works better on Shan. I would love the crit rate to be a little higher, but the point of Shan is to get him fast enough so that the Chiwu or the Ryu pushes back. I mean, the Chiwu's guaranteed to do 15%. The Ryu has 3 chances to do 10%. So you figure tune for about 15% pushback if you get more good. So we wanted the Shan to go in there because the Shan has the bar boost that'll allow us to bring in even slower, harder hitting monsters following up. So that's the plan there. No artifacts on this guy yet. I should probably do that. I like him on Violent so that he can proc into a skill 2 and then get his skill 3 up even faster. Let's see if we can't find some artifacts. I'd probably go with crit damage on 2 or crit damage on 3. I mean, having none of these is an issue, like a major issue. Those are, I'm very surprised that there's just none. I guess he just hasn't farmed them, so that would be something to do, would be to farm them up. Because, yeah, there's a lot of good opportunities here to make this guy beefier. Even just getting, double attack would make him hit a lot harder. So definitely something to look into there. All right, then we've got Helena here. I believe this is the build. Yeah, so almost 100% crit. We're using Helena to eat a little bit of bar, to absorb the bar, and defense break. So we've got 2 monsters fulfilling that role. Probably need a little bit of accuracy on the artifacts and then crit damage. So we've got Helena doing that, and we've got Savannah doing the exact same thing. They're defense breaking, they're eating the bar, they're helping us cycle. So there's the Savannah. Not quite as high on the crit, but it's Savannah. Like, come on. Is that the speed I wanted, Savannah? That speed is off. Let me just double check. I think he might have re-ruined a little bit since I ruined him up because that speed on Savannah's not right. Alright, so we're trying to speed tune them all. Let me just double check. Sean. Yep. Helena. Yep. Okay, let's get this Savannah. Let's get this Savannah right. So we're gonna... Maybe I misruined him when I did the first time through. Let's see here. Attack. Violent. Yeah, we want 27%. That one. Yeah, I probably didn't finish Savannah and messed up the team. Oops-a-daisies. This one is Rage. Yep. Down here. Yep. Yep, that's my bad. No wonder. Probably didn't test great because I missed the speed slot too. That's what we want, 240. So we're putting the Savannah at 240, the Sean at 241, the Helena at 241, the Sean's at like 270-ish. Poseidon is going to be next in there. So here her accuracy is really, really low. I think you'd usually want crit damage, but I think accuracy is not a horrible idea just to make sure she does what she's supposed to do. Like, if we don't have accuracy, we're kind of putting her at the mercy of RNG, which is not what we want to do. Yeah, so we have no options really on artifacts, so we're just going to leave her unartifacted. All right, so that is the core. Here's Poseidon. Yep. He has pretty good accuracy. I think he awakens into it, so that's pretty nice. He's sitting at 244. Yeah, he awakens in accuracy. So he's on Swift. He's just there to manipulate bars and that sort of good stuff. All right, so we've got the 2 speed leads. We've got the Ryu, and we've got the Chiwu. Now we're going to start adding speed leads because people like Ryu and Chiwu, right? And if you don't get them, you're in a bit of a pickle. So let's go ahead and rune up a Sierra. Always a good idea to have a Sierra ready to go. Sierra in and of herself is really good. It's just, I think for this comp, she's not quite as good. But once you get more familiar with this comp, that is not what we want at all. Let's see. Let's go speed. That is what we want. Once you get more familiar with this comp, I think there would be some opportunities to sub out one of the strippers in Chiwu or Ryu and bring in something that's a little more pop, like a Sierra. Especially if you're getting hit with really tanky counter picks and you're like, I don't know if I can cut through that, then, you know, something with a little more pop like Sierra is probably a good idea. We're going to rune up one more speed lead as well, just so we have lots of options. And then, you know, if for some crazy reason you get stuck and for some reason you have no speed leads, well, then you just lose that match. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's hard to get completely stuck when you have 4 runed. But I guess it's theoretical that it could happen, or it theoretically could happen. This one's on beta. I'll take that. Okay, that looks right. So we're a little low on the accuracy. I always fudge on her accuracy a little bit, but we bumped up the crit rate by 59% up to 92. The Sierra on crit rate is crazy because her turns are all like 0.6 of a full turn. Like, she cycles so fast that she will accelerate pretty much out-accelerate any team. And so suddenly they've got more bombs than they should because she's taking too many turns. And once she does that, if she's net dead, she gets out of control. Like, you have to do something about a Sierra let loose without immunity or anything like that. They will just cycle through you like crazy. And then suddenly there's a million bombs, everybody's stunned, and it's over, you know? It's very sad if you're against it. If you're playing it, you're like, yeah, that's right. But if you're against it, you're not happy. All right, so we've got this rune here. We're ruining the Ganny next. The Ganny is a excellent follow to the double strip and might be better in certain situations. So we're just trying to prepare for every situation that could come up over the course of playing. You don't know. You don't want to just be stuck in one team, one version of your team infinitely. So that's what we're doing. And I think Ganny really works well with a second round of strip or Sean or whatever. Gives you another round of the good stuff because of his ventilate. So we're ruining up ourselves a Ganny here. Ganny's pretty easy to rune to the point of where you can do a bunch of different stuff with Ganny. You just got to commit to whatever you decide on and go for it. This one's already on Ganny. Excellent. Then we got to defend. So the way I chose to rune him is pretty beefy, 170k effective HP. Nice and efficient, 97%. He's got some attack, 1300 attack. I think not putting attack on Ganny is a mistake because you need him to chip in a little bit. Some people build him full damage. I did not. I elected to go with more accuracy. I want him to wipe their bar with third skill when he does it because they'll be fully stripped. I don't want him to only get one person's attack bar. Also, glance on skill 1 is pretty nice, so we want that to activate when we use it. All right, let me see. This all looks right. Yep. All right, so the next monster I ruined is Juno, who is probably one of my most wanted monsters. She is just such a great solution to a lot of problems that exist in Arena right now. And she's similar to Sierra in a way in that left unchecked, she can take down lots and lots and lots of stuff that before the artifact buff, she would not be able to take down at all. So it's pretty cool if you're a Juno owner. And also, what's nice about Juno is there's not a lot of great despair users in the game right now, but there's a lot of great ways to get despair runes. I mean, Alunia, the Dimension Predator is given a couple, so, you know, it's nice to get those despair sets put to use, and she gets to use those despair sets more often than she should, right? Because she's cycling so much. All right, so this is the best crit rate rune we have, which is, it looks legendary, but yeah, that's a slot you want to upgrade as soon as possible, because that could be so much better. So we're not gonna fully upgrade the rune, but you get it. Like, it would be up to 93% crit rate when it's fully maxed. Let me see if this is right. 70-23. Yep. All right. The next speed lead we are going to rune up is the Jamire, who has gotten a pretty nice little buff with his skill 1 damage. Let's see here. He works really well with this sort of team, which is long on. This team is all about cycling through, using cooldowns, messing up your life, basically. You know, kind of like how Jamire functions with the Tableau type team. So getting him in there, going last, is like just what you want, you know? So that's the plan there. There might be some situations where we would want him over some of our other speed leads if things look a certain way. But, you know, we don't know. These are the things that I think as someone plays their team, they just need to experiment with. Like, commit a day to Jamire day and just pick Jamire over one of your speed leads all day. Like, don't worry so much about winning or losing when you're figuring out your picks and bans, because otherwise you'll be too uptight to get more information about how to play your team. So I would say just pick a day and play Jamire every game. Get a feel for him. Get a feel for when he works. Get a feel for when he doesn't work. And then you'll have enough information to make more informed choices when you are trying to win every game, when you're trying to pick correctly, you're trying to ban correctly. So that's what I would heavily suggest. We've built him pretty glass cannon. I think we're assuming that if he gets into play, they're not going to get a lot of turns. We're going to cycle. We're going to Jamire. We built him damage. So he's probably the lowest effective HP of any of the team. And I think for the role he would jump into, I think that would work. That's my thought on him. So that's how I want to build for this team. All right, we're going to build a Leo. It's always good to have a Leo. You never know. There's some teams out there that you look at it and you know in your soul that they're going to outspeed you and just abuse you. And there's tools in the game to deal with that. And one of them is Leo. It's not a guarantee that good times will occur, but it at least gives you a shot, right? Like, there's sometimes where, you know, on my alt or on different people on their account, they need a Leo in that spot and they don't have it, and then the opponent is super happy because they just get to abuse them because they don't have the Leo they need. So Leo's a great tool to have at your disposal if you have it. I would suggest anyone with a Leo, rune a Leo. Just to have it. It's good to have. It's a nice Diana rune. HP. Okay, it's on Varad 2, it says. I do not see Varad 2. So it's 27 HP. Let's see if we can't find it. There it is. It's right there. Varad's right in front of me. Cool. Just totally missed him. And then this one's on Rauk. Sorting by defense. There it is. All right, so there's our Leo. Pretty beefy, nice and slow. I mean, his effective HP isn't amazing. It's 150k, but Leo's tricky because you want him to get hit down to torrent range, but you don't want him to get hit down to dying range. And there's, in my experience, there's sort of a fine line in runing a Leo where if you rune him too tanky, he doesn't do enough during the portion of the fight where the outcome is in doubt. And so then what'll happen is he's the only one left, and then it doesn't matter how tanky he is, because they just leave him till last, and then they kill him off because they overwhelm you with all their monsters. So you want him to have some threat during the game, but not so much that they figure it out and they just squish him down in one hit, right? So that's kind of tricky. Kind of a tricky spot for Leo. All right, we're ruining up Rika next, because Rika is another one of those monsters that if you have a Rika, you should probably ruin your Rika. There's a lot of different rune builds. I like Despair. She's got the double AoE. But, the Despair does overlap with her skill 2, which also has a stun. So that's the only concern with the Despair build. But she has a built-in Violent, so what are you going to do? You're either overlapping the Violent with her skill 1, or you're overlapping this Despair with her skill 2. So I like Despair. Again, there's not a lot of great Despair builds. Rika and Juno are probably the two best in the game. So we like to use the best monsters with their best sets. All right, so there is our Rika. She's built on full accuracy. It was just easy to do it because we had that nice accuracy rune. Again, we're not going to mess with artifacts, but artifacts are going to make this team significantly better. So, for instance, this Rika has 26k HP, right? If she had double HP artifacts, that'd be 3k extra health. That's 10%. That's a ton. And that doesn't include any of the stuff the artifacts actually do. That's just the base of the artifacts. So it's kind of like not having your HP tower maxed, right? Every unit that doesn't have artifacts is missing the equivalent of 10% of whatever their most ideal stat is. And artifacts are a great way to shore up stats that you just don't have on your runes for whatever reason. Like, stuff with low base stats, maybe a Fran is missing defense. The flat defense on the artifact is more impactful for her as a percentage of total defense. Or maybe, for whatever reason, your speed runes are lacking attack, and you need a little bit of attack on whatever, Sierra or something. Just a nice way to shore up those weaknesses, right? So definitely going into RTA without maxed artifacts is not your best bet. I would definitely recommend them. You want to farm the best ones you can and not waste mana on, bad artifacts, but a bad artifact that is in play is probably superior to not having any artifact. Just as an FYI. That's just my opinion on that. All right, so sadly, the Yanhong is getting built like 12th or 13th. It's getting built really low, and I love Yanhong, so this makes me sad. But I think for this team, the Yanhong is sort of in the way and not ideal. The turn cycling she provides doesn't come with extra oomph. She heals, right? And in theory, this team isn't getting hit too much. So the healing is wasted, and we'd rather turn cycle while bringing down their amount of turns. So that's why the Yanhong doesn't work great. But we're still going to have one built. Let's see here. What did I sort by speed? All right, so it's a 12 speed. Wow, it's a little one, but it's super efficient. All right, let's sort by defense. So that's why the Yanhong's coming in late in the game, because I don't think she's as impactful on this team, which is a bummer because the Yanhong is amazing. Do we Sing Z? Yep. So you can see the monsters that are losing runes, it's nothing but great RTA monsters. Like, there is nothing but choices here. Nothing but choices. It's just monster after monster after monster, all awesome. Discount stacked. So for the meta right now, I like this build for him, but the meta might change and something might get nerfed, So having the flexibility to pivot into whatever gives you the best chance to win at any point is really, really nice. So this Yanhong's efficiency is not great. It's just over 93. Damage is okay. Speed is okay. But it's definitely not one of those OP Yanhongs. But it's all right. It should do what we want it to do. All right, so we're ready to rock. Let's see what he's been up to here. Replay. My battles. Oh, it looks like... Okay, so... Interesting. Yep. All right, cool. So the main thing I anticipate this account having trouble with in matches is getting outsped, because the 24 speed and 299 in the Ryu is outspeedable by a lot of stuff. But that's an area you can improve upon, and in theory, become the person outspeeding, right? You get a couple boosts in your Swift sets, and suddenly you're on top, right? I think it would be a mistake to push this account into a turn 2, just because you can't have both your boosters at 310. Because it's the runes need a little bit of love there, but the comp is good. All right, let's go. We're going to play 4. We've got 4 left, so we're going to play 4. This seems like a really fun account to play. Like when I played it, I played 5 earlier testing just the core concept of the Sean, because I didn't have a ton of Sean experience, and I was like, does Sean really work like I assume he does in this way? And the answer was yes, he does. It works just like that. All right, so Chiwa's going to be our first pick because it is the more likely to get stolen monster. Things we're not going to want to fight against are Verds, anything that interrupts our turns. So Diana, Triana, stuff like that. Ooh, he's going Bruiser. This will be a good challenge. So we're not going to pivot. We're going to play the core team against the Bruiser. So we're going to hold back on our second strip just to see, right? Just to kind of see what's up. So we're going to go ahead and go, I think Helena makes a lot of sense in this slot against that monkey. So we're going to go and play that. Chloe. So that's his speed game. Interesting. Maybe it's a super fast Swift Chloe. That would be something to see. So he's already put down double immunity, so we're going to put up our second strip, and then it's just a matter of what do we want? Do we want the Poseidon or do we want the Savannah? I think we want the Savannah because we're going to probably have to play against that monkey, and that gives us our double defense break, our double pushback. Okay, that's not horrible. It's kind of not great, but it's not horrible. I think we ban the Molly here because that's the majority of his sustain. We've got our speed lead, and we've got our strip, so we are in no danger of going second. In theory, the monkey could stun after one of our turns and kind of mess us up a little bit, but it's not gaining bar or anything like that, so in theory, he would have to stun every monster and get us the second time around, right? So let's see how we do. I love the element neutrality of the Sean. We should be in pretty good shape here. It looks okay. This is a nice challenge for us because it's just full... This guy's just full tank, trying to resist what we're doing. Okay, he's got 2 immunities. Yep, take that. So we're going to save our second one here because we're fine on the bar. So we're just going to start doing some damage. Do it to Chloe. Okay, so this is our bar boost and our stun. Also gives speed, which is so nice with Savannah. So nice. I mean, we don't have a Savannah right now, but it's so nice. Gonna go for the stun on the Chloe here. If we don't get it, it makes it a little more complicated, but we get the Ryu coming up. We're not in the worst shape in the world. So I guess we'll do this on the... Who can mess us up? I guess the Unicorn can mess us up, so we'll do it on the Unicorn. Alright, and then now we're trying to strip the immunity. We got the invincibility, and they're still kind of messed up, so that's good. Do we care about the Chloe anymore? She's kind of done her thing. I don't think we do. I think we're going to start working on the monkey. This is too good to pass up. The defense broke. I guess we'll try to avoid the heal here. Maybe get a sleep. Nope. Nice stun for him. Ooh, are we not maxed? That should be available. Interesting. We're learning something about this unicorn. Here comes the heal. We're going to go take a look at that after this match. We're going to go here just so we don't get stunned. We're going to go here again. Nice, violent proc. Missing crits, though, so might be worth bumping his crit up a little bit. Yep, that seems right. Guess we'll go into Chloe again. He's getting some nice monkey stuns. Nice monkey stuns. I want to look at that. Sean. Yeah, I want to go look at that Helena here in a second. Okay. Not an ideal turn rotation here because he's got immunity on a lot of monsters. And oh, so that's the issue on Helena. If he's got immunity, you're not absorbing, right? So you get out of sync. All right, so this is a loss, but I think that Helena is not skilled up because we should have had the ability to cycle and eat their bar that last time. Let's go take a look. Yeah, that's the issue. Yep. Not skilled up. So the one thing that Helena won't do is do Helena things over and over and over because it's on Swift. So that's a bit of an issue. But not being skilled up is also an issue. I think I remember the Savannah wasn't either. So that, I think, is going to hold the team back quite a bit, just not having fully skilled cyclers, right? Like, the Helena should have gotten that off another round. Something to work on. Everybody always needs Devilmon. All right, let's go again. So that guy did a pretty good job of resisting what we were trying to do. But I think we did a pretty good job of doing what we wanted to do as well. I think the way he played it in allowing the double pushback was not a bad idea. Because if you're going to get stripped, what's the point of worrying if they have 2, right? All right, so Monkey. I think we're going to go with Ryu first and Sean. Just because he's fire. We'll see what he does from here. Okay. So double fire again. I'm thinking we're definitely going to go Poseidon against this crew. And then I think Amelia makes a ton of sense as well. And we'll probably pick Chiwu last. Leaving Savannah on the bench this time, because it's double fire already, which is bad. Ooh, more fire. More fire. Oh, he took the Chiwu. Sad. Okay, so options. We can do a lot of things here. We can go with the Ganny. Try to reset, right? We can go with the Savannah, which is a horrible idea, because there's 4 fire. We can bring in the Sierra. Not a bad idea. We can go a little tankier with Yanhong. We got a lot of options. Jamire's not bad. He's not really speedy, though. I kind of like... Let's go Rika. We'll go Rika here. All right, so I'm thinking the Verd or the Panda is a bit of an issue. The Panda being his only form of sustain. But if we get revenged on the Verd, we're in trouble. We've got enough stuns and stuff that I feel pretty good about the Verd, especially since our stripper is water. So I'm going to ban the Panda here. Bans the Rika. Sweet. Yeah, so we got the water stripper. We got the water control. We've got the stun. We should be okay. We'll see. This is the other way to try to deal with this. He doesn't have a speed threat. Unless his Chiwu. His Chiwu could be faster than our Ryu. That's actually something that could be a thing. That would be wild. But it's possible. Okay. So now we just got to decide. Are we willing to risk the Verd? Sure. Why not? Double glance. Okay. So speeds still look good. So we're going to just put some damage on that. Eat his bar. Stun and boost our bar. And now that Verd is stunned, he's our target if we can get him. We also need to kill this Juno before it does anything, because it's going to heal pretty good if it gets the opportunity. Kill the Verd here. Not quite. This should do it. Yep. Alright, so options. What do we think? Are we concerned? I think we're okay here. It's going to give the Juno more juice, but I think we're okay. Do we let the Juno heal? I think we kill the monkey. Yep. And then maybe kill the Chiwu? Nope. Push back. Got a tiny slice, but not a lot. So she doesn't have her skill up because of cooldowns, but we'll go ahead and play as if she did, right? Like, we'd normally be doing this here, but we'll just use it to kill the Chiwu. So now it's just us against this Juno, and I think we should be in good shape. Might take a little bit, but we should be in good shape. Having Squall is so nice. So nice. So I think even though it stuns, I think it's worth it for us. Oh, missed. Nice. That's actually great for us. I love that it increases the Squall damage too. It's so cool. I mean, we would do this, right? And it's going to absorb a lot of attack bar. So let's do it, since we have it. We'll push back. Nice. And then we'll Squall. So that's, in theory, how it should go. That's also holding back on our second stripper. Maybe a little too long because he took it, but that gave us nothing but great options. 1 stripper, 3 nice options, and we're able to get it done. The Verd was a good pick by him, but since we had the water stripper, we were in better shape, I think, going into that. Because the revenge on the water didn't do anything, right? He got what he wanted and it didn't work. He got the 45% chance, but it didn't matter, which is always no fun when you're the one on the Verd. Tomer. Is he here? Uh-oh. He's trying to do what we want to do. He's going fast. All right. Well, you go ahead, and we're just going to try to be faster. You're going to need some speed leads. I know that. If he goes double speed lead, we'll just ban the Triton, because we've got double speed lead, and we're faster than a Tiana. We should be faster. Oh, he's shielded well. He's turn 2. There's a speed lead, though. No, he can't be turn 2 with the Triton. That doesn't make any sense. To me. Maybe he is, though. Who knows? This is looking like a nice spot for Helena here. Because it's all wind. Oh, okay. So Savannah's perfect, right? Savannah's perfect here. What would be better? What we want is for his last pick to not matter. He's going to need a speed lead. If he doesn't pick a speed lead, we'll ban his 1 speed lead. If he picks a 2nd speed lead, we'll probably ban Triton. So what do we like into the rest of this? I think Poseidon makes sense, even though it's both wind. That's a little bit risky. Yeah, we'll go with Poseidon. I like Poseidon because he's got a little bit more bar control. Plus he slows. He does all sorts of good stuff. So if he doesn't pick another speed lead, I believe he's in big trouble. And if he does, then we have an actual choice. His utility's kind of too, because he's trying to set up the Akamamir, and all he's got to set it up right now is Beth, which is like dodgy. And he's really thinking. Hathor. Okay. So I feel pretty comfortable banning his 1 speed lead, knowing we'll outspeed, and all we got to do is kill a Beth, basically, right? He doesn't have great options because both Sean and Savannah work really nice into Beth. This should be fine, unless we just totally RNG'd into the ground, but we should be all right. We got everything we wanted, and he got not that. I mean, it's possible. It's possible the Triton could outspeed, right? Because our Ryu is 299 plus 24, so he's 323-ish. I think he gets a little bit more than that because it multiplies. And that's pretty close. So we do need to get some pushback here. He might resist, and then our Sean doesn't get to go, right? I mean, we're looking at it. That's a possibility. Yeah, we got enough. Oh, but the Tiana. We didn't get the Tiana. So that's a problem. We got the Triton, though. He should do skill 2. Though skill 3, he doesn't know what the bars look like exactly. So, yeah, that's a little safer. Pretty nice fast Triton there. So now we're seeing if we can resist, because he resisted our pushback. Yeah, we resisted a little bit. So at least extend our match by a hair. This Tiana's going to do some damage, though. Skill 2. Oh, you don't want to wake him up. That's the problem. Can we kill? Yes, that was the problem. All right, who's the next problem? I guess it's Tiana is the next damage problem. Because everything else should have no damage on it. Yep. So that was an interesting one because we got what we wanted in that we got to go first. But our pushback got resisted on one of the 2 monsters. Makes sense. It's water into double wind, right? But then we still won because then we resisted back. So that's just RTA going. Like, that's just RTA doing RTA things. Like, you're going to lose even when you got the perfect setup you want. Like, should I have banned the Triton there? No, because then he would have had speed lead Tiana, and that Tiana would have outsped me, and I would have been done, you know? Like, no way. And then he would have had a Akamamir to follow up the Beth. Interesting. I mean, there's no reason not to pick our double stripper here, right? I don't see any reason not to. The Leica first pick is odd. Maybe, I don't know what he's going to do. I was thinking some sort of Leo. Okay. That does not matter. Because it shouldn't outspeed us. Yeah, that didn't matter. Alright, so we're going to go Sean. I think Poseidon makes the most sense here, but I might have to ban the Tyrannies, which is a little bit annoying. Savannah also pretty nice, but not great into the Leica. I think I'm going to go ahead and go Savannah for the defense break, because I think I'm going to need it. Juno, okay. So if he, depending on what he picks, I feel pretty good about the Poseidon ban the Tyrannus. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Because that's a nice way to deal with the Juno. We'll ban the Tyrannus. I mean, we'll deal with the Lulu. I mean, the Lulu could go off, right? That's possible, but we got a nice matchup with the Triton and the Savannah, so I think we're going to let that slide. May be wrong. We may be like, wow, why did we let him have immunity and healing when we could have denied him all that? But I feel okay about it. I think it'll be all right. We'll see. Could be very, very wrong. What's nice about this team is that it has an identity, kind of like a single target nuke team. You want to do the same thing every time. And so you're conditioning yourself to deal with how people try to handle you, but you're not losing what you want to do ever. You're always doing what you want to do. And so it's pretty easy in terms of picking, right? Like, there's not a lot that can go horribly, horribly wrong. I mean, resist and stuff like that, like, of course. But in general, you know what you're up to, and you should be in pretty good shape. All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and do this here, even though the Barbara's going to play, right? Because we need to control that Lulu. Nice. That's fine. Is he autoing? Because that's not a great target. All right, we're going to see if we can't get a little damage in this Juno. A little bit. So now we have a choice. Do we kill Juno or do we try to kill Lulu? I think we're going to go for the Juno here. Because we don't have a ton of ways to deal with Juno. We're going to use this on the Lulu. And if he gets his full cleanse, he gets his full cleanse. Oh, nice. Good job, Poseidon. Way to be Poseidon. Shutting him down. Yep, he can only get one additional turn. That's the beauty of RTA. Ooh, nice little counter heal. That's kind of cool. We're going to put this into Leica. Because we don't have a lot of... Well, we have some, but... Yep, alright, so... Do we kill the Leica or do we unseat? I think we kill the Leica. We've got a lot of ways to deal with Barbara. A lot of ways. So, again, like, little things you can do to improve this team is give the Chiwu some damage without sacrificing speed. So, you know, if you find damage runes, that's nice. But, yeah. Cool. So, those are our 4 matches. We went 3-1. We got to see several different ways people deal with this team. I don't know how close we are to C1, but we got to be getting pretty close. Got to see some counter picks. I think, you know, artifacts will go a long way. A little more swift runes. You know, skilling up the core monsters. You're never going to regret skilling up a Savannah. You might regret skilling up a Helena, but I think Helena's nice here. It does something unique for this team, so I would recommend that. We didn't get to see the Yanhong play at all, which is a bit of a bummer. But I don't think the team needs it. I think the team needs Sean. Sean is so cool for this team. So cool because it keeps you element neutral 1 pick further without messing up anything. It's a fantastic pick for this. So yeah, so that is it. Hope you enjoy it, Fallen, and you know, hope everybody watching enjoyed it. If you like this sort of content, you know, please join the channel. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.